Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. So today I'm going to introduce you to a project that I have just created. It's called React Native OmarThinks React Native template. About it, it's a template that is pre-configured with requirements for most projects. So basically, if you have a project and you want everything to be pre-configured, you can use this template. So what is gonna be pre-configured? You got React, React Native, Redux Toolkit, React Navigation, Async Storage, IET Next, NativeWind, Module Resolver, TypeScript, and React Native Paper. Everything is gonna be pre-configured without you having to do anything. Not only just React and React Native, no, everything here is gonna be pre-configured without any effort from you. Okay, so how you use it? You can clone the repository. You just run this command git clone https github.com OmarThinks React Native template. You can run this command. This is the link of the repository, git clone and the link of the repository. This is the link. Or you can also download it from here. So for example, download the compressed file. And then you choose the CLI folder. So here, as you can see here, it's here. These are the files and folders of the project. You can choose the CLI folder and you choose the version. So for that, I'm going to choose the latest version, which is the most updated and the most recent. And then you run this command, npm install. So I'm going to change directory into the project, and I'm going to run this command. Cd cli /072/awesome project ls. Yeah, and then we are going to run this command, npm install, and then we are going to run this command, npm start. If it's not installed on your emulator, you can press A to run on Android, but it's already installed on my emulator. So basically I'm going to click on the project. And this is the project. Let me walk you through the project. As you can see here, this is the home screen. We got here two buttons. The first button is to open a drawer. The second button is to change the theme, light or dark. We got the home screen. We got the components screen, which is a screen for components. I'm going to explain this in a while. And we got the language screen. So, components. So let me walk you through the components screen. We have already seen the home screen. Let me walk you through the components screen. These components are predefined, as you can see here, src components. So we have here the components of app bar. App bar is a component, circle icon is a component, icon, text, and the touch filler. So text, this is the text component, this is the touch filler, and this is the icon, this is the circle icon component, and that's it. This in this I was just testing NativeWind. And the final screen is the language screen. The language screen, we can here change the language. I'm going to explain this in a minute. The second feature I would like to talk about is the main layout feature. So basically here in the folder of higher order component, we got a main layout. This is a main layout so that every screen is actually wrapped inside the main layout. So to prevent a repeated code, so basically the home screen is just inside the main layout. The language screen is also inside the main layout to prevent code repeating code and to keep the code as dry as possible. So as you can see here, the language language screens home is just export to default. It's gonna return the main layout. To prevent code repetition, And for example, the app bar, we not every time we are going to write the app bar component, we can just, in the main layout, we can just here add the app bar everywhere and return the app bar to be added. So this is the main layout feature. Now let's talk about theming. Basically, theming uses two features. First, it uses Redux, so that every time, so that all the components and so that the theme is just using dependency injection, so that everything is known to be reduced and dependency injected. So basically here in the features we have theme slice. Let me hit here LF. So we have here the theme. So basically theme is just, it could be light or dark. The theme is light or dark, and the colors are going to be, the colors of the theme are going to be, the colors of the theme are going to be provided using React Native Paper context. React Native Paper, it's going to be provided as a context. So I guess in the app, yeah, paper provider, the theme is provided, whether it's light. If it was light, then provide the light theme. This is the light theme, or light colors. And if it was not provided, then just provide the dark colors. And also, this is the first feature, is that it uses Redux. The second feature is that it uses async storage. So basically, let's close the app on the light theme. The theme here is dark. This is the light theme. For the home, for the components, this is the light theme. For the language, this is the light theme, and this is the dark theme. Dark theme for home, for components screen, and for language screen. This is the dark theme. Now, the other feature, other than Redux, it uses async storage, so that let's close the app on a light theme. It's gonna be remembered that we have closed the app on a light theme. The theme was light, we close the app, so that the storage is persistent. It's not about just right now, it's about that we have left the theme light, so we store it persistently. Now we are going to close the app on the dark theme and see what happens. It remembers that we have closed the app on the dark theme, and whenever we open the app, we continue using the dark theme because we are using async storage. So this is the second feature. The third feature that I would like to, the other feature, this is the second feature about themes. The first one was Redux, the second one was the usage of async storage. Now let's talk about languages. So we can press here the language. So basically the language currently is just English. So let's press the language of Deutsch, which is German. This is the native name. This is the native name of the German language, and this is the native name of the Arabic language, so that if someone got lost, for example, let's say it here, Deutsch, for example, and I don't know Deutsch, I don't know German. So basically, it's gonna be here. It's gonna be, this icon is it's about the global. It's about that something is global. So basically, we can expect here that the language is going to be here in this section. So if I got lost, if I have chosen the wrong language by mistake, I can know that I can find the languages here. So here everything is written in the native language. The English is written in native English, German is written in native German, and Arabic is written in native Arabic. We can add more language as we wish. In the files, this can be found, this could be found here in the local folder. So basically we have here the en common. So home screen is home, screen components is components1, language is language. So this is the English, home, components1, and language. This is the German, the German here, Start Bildschirm, Komponenten 1 and Sprache. So and now let's check out the Arabic language. Now this is another feature which is right to left or left to right. Some languages are LTR, which means left to right, like English and German. LTR, from left to right. We write here E, then N, we write in this direction. German also we write LTR. However, some languages are, so English is not RTL. German also is not RTL. However, Arabic is RTL, which means right to left. So basically, when we press here, Arabic, the application is going to restart and it's going to change from Arabic to Arabic. The application is going to restart and it's going to be, the application changed. The icons, as you remember, the icons were here. Now the whole application changed to be right to left. As you remember, this menu, this side drawer was on the other side. Now it's on the right. It was on the left and now it's on the right. Again. Let's get back to the English language. So again, the icons are here on the right and home is here on the left. The drawer is also on the left. So let's press here the language. English, Deutsch, everything is left to right. However, this is right to left. So as we can see here, right to left, the application just reverses its direction. So there is something about here that when we switch the language from English, from a language that is left to right, the application doesn't start. Again, if the old language and the new language are left to right, then the application doesn't restart. Here, English, Deutsch, the application doesn't have to restart. But, however, if we switch from a right to left language from RTL to LTR, then the application has to restart. The application must restart in order for things to take effect. So when we hit here, the application must restart because it's a different direction. And according to the React Native documentation, when working on a new feature, you can easily toggle this button and reload the app. The app must be reloaded to see RTL layout. This is a feature in React Native that they have written it like that. If the application was LTR and we are going to convert it to RTL, then the application has to reload. This is React Native. This is not something that, it's something that I have to do. So for this, I used React Native Restart. So let's take a look at the code. rn restart. If the old is not equal to the new, if new is not equal to old, then the application must restart. If new is not equal to old, the application must restart. So this is how the code runs. Now let's move on to the next section, which is module resolver. This is something about the code. So module resolver. For the module resolver, we are going to, let me close everything to start from scratch. For the module resolver, there are two files that are considered, that are relevant: the tsconfig.json and the babelconfig.json. So let's take a look at the tsconfig.json. So basically, we know that at components, it means this. At hook, higher order component, means this. At Redux, means this folder. So let me clarify this. So basically, let's take a look at the components. At components, so basically, instead of going through dot 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 slash dot 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 slash dot 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 slash dot 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 slash component slash index.tsx, we just write here components. So basically, let's take a look at the screens. Home, for example, let's see components. This can be imported using two ways. Import text from dot slash dot 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 slash components one slash components one. So of course this is he's giving us an error slash index. Okay, dot 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 slash dot 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 slash components slash index. So basically, instead of writing every time dot 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 slash dot 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 slash, instead of writing every time, so what we mean here is that dot 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 slash returns us back up in the directory folder. So we are here in the screens, and then the other dot 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 slash gives us to the src. Now we go to the components and we go to index. This is what it means. This is what it means. So instead of having to write all of this, we using the module resolver, we can simply just write here at components, at hook, at redux, at screen, at storage, at seam, at navigation, at locale. So at components is the abbreviation for this components folder, in the components folder. At hook in the tsconfig and in the babel config is the abbreviation for the higher order component folder, the hook folder. And at redux is the abbreviation for, and like that, screens is the screens folder. Screens is the screens folder. At screen, at storage is the storage folder. At seam is the seam folder. At navigation is the navigation folder. At locale is the locale folder. So you can pre-configure everything here. If you would like to create a new folder and pre-configure it, you can copy and paste and change this, for example, and create an index.tsx which will contain everything that you want to export. So the module resolver is pre-configured. Now let's talk about NativeWind. Let's start from here at the screens. Now we are going to talk about NativeWind. Screens, home screen. As you can see here, class name is used for NativeWind. So basically grow means flex grow, self stretch means align self stretch, justify center, justify content center, items center. So NativeWind is already pre-configured, so that you don't have to pre-configure anything about NativeWind. Font bold, text 30 pixel, which means that the text has a font size of 30 pixel. And that's it about NativeWind. Now let's talk about type safety. Type safety, as you can see here, navigation and seam. Navigation, this G is redundant. Navigation and seam are type safe. So basically use app seam. The seam here is the seam colors are type safe. So let me check with you. Let's create here language. Circle icon. The seam has to be somewhere used somewhere. yeah, okay, here are the colors. So basically, let's write here a new text, and then we say here hi. Okay, so this is the text. Okay, so let's write here a new text and say hi, and then we say here yeah, color style equals colors dot normal text. So let's take a look. Go to definition, use app theme, go to definition. These are the colors. These are the colors. This is the dark theme colors, this is the light theme, and this is the dark theme. So normal text here, this is the normal text. So if we write here normal text, it's gonna show us an error because normal text property doesn't exist on this type. Because let's take a look here at the colors. There is no normal text with double T. There is app bar bg normal text underscore surface underscore on surface, but there is no normal text with double T. That's why colors theme is type safe, and the navigation is also type safe. So let's go to the splash screen. Splash screen, I want to talk about also the splash screen. The splash screen, so basically navigation dot replace, navigation names dot home, everything here is type safe, and you don't have to worry. If you ever want to navigate type safely, you can just use this code. Now let's talk about the splash screen. The splash screen initializes. Let's take a look at the splash screen. Let's stop this navigation.replace, which takes us to the home screen. So now we press here. As you can see, it will be a blank page, just empty page. This is the splash screen. So basically the splash screen is not, you expect the first screen is the home screen, but actually the first screen is the splash screen, which is empty. It initializes everything, and then we move to the home screen, and then it moves us to the home screen. So again, now let's do this. Keep it at navigation names slash home. As you can see, it has taken the splash screen has moved us home. So why does it have to exist, and what does it initialize? It initializes two things. It initializes the language and it initializes the theme. It initializes the language by reading from the stored language. So basically, as you can see here, when we change the language, this has to be stored somewhere. We have stored it here, and then when we open, it has to be stored somewhere. So it's gonna be stored at the storage using async storage, and then we reopen this using, and then we initialize this at the splash screen. So first of all, we initialize the language, and then we initialize the theme. After everything is done, after we have initialized the language and after we have initialized the theme, we can navigate to the home screen. So this screen is very important. The splash screen is very important because it initializes everything from scratch, from the storage. The future of the project is that I will do my best to keep updating the versions in the CLI folder. So basically, if there was a major update in React Native, so for example, guides, if there was a major update in React Native, so 7.71, 0.72, so this is 0.72, 0.71, 0.72. If there was a major update, then basically I'll do my best to keep it up to keep this project up and running. And also I would like to create a new folder here for Expo to start working on Expo templates soon. And the last thing I want to talk about is the motivation. The motivation behind this project was that I needed to have a template that is pre-configured so that I don't have to pre-configure everything by myself. And I was in an interview, and the interview lasted for 1 hour, and I found myself in this 1 hour pre-configuring everything and not working on the task. So basically having a pre-configured code is very important. I should have worked on the task in that code, but actually I just decided to create this React Native template. And sometimes I configure something and I forgot how I configured it. I follow the documentation, it takes me too much time. So having a template that is pre-configured, that I can look at any time and see how I configured this in the commits history. So seeing how I did this, so I18N for example got configured, and the locale. So taking a look at the commits and seeing how I configured things, what did I change in the code is very helpful. And that's it. Thank you so much, and wish I could see you next time. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Goodbye.